Hey guys, welcome back to The Binger. Before we get started, let's just take a moment and say goodbye to all those who haven't seen the movie yet. Feel free to stick around, but this is your spoiler warning. Endgame saw the return of all the characters that fell victim to the snap in Avengers 3, but we also bid farewell to some major players. With Phase 3 of the MCU now coming to a close, what can we look forward to in Phase 4? And how will those losses affect what's to come? Buckle up, because you're about to find out. Natasha's passing in the Black Widow movie. It was confirmed some time ago that Scarlett Johansson will be starring in a standalone Black Widow movie. It makes sense, as Captain Marvel is so far the only female superhero to get a movie all of her own from this universe. Marvel Studios is trying to branch out and give their female characters more credit, and Natasha Romanoff is more than worthy. The character is an interesting past that's only been gently touched upon throughout the franchise. It's only natural that we all want to know more about her, and Marvel will happily oblige. Although fans knew that some characters wouldn't make it out of Endgame alive, no one knew who. It was the best kept secret, thanks to a lot of NDA agreements. When Natasha sacrificed her life over Clint's to get the Soul Stone for the team, many tears were shed. Black Widow has been a key player in the Avengers, right up until her last moments. Now that she's gone, how will this affect the standalone movie? Of course, Marvel Studios would have known that this was coming, so they have it all figured out. But what about the fans? Theories have gone right out the window, leaving everybody wondering if her passing will be mentioned in the movie. With Natasha really gone, we now know that the Black Widow movie, which is set to be released in 2020, will be a prequel about her earlier life. Given the fact that she's, not breathing, it's hardly going to be about her future exploits, right? Frankly, anything is possible though, so who knows? It would have been nice to see her find love at some point. Millions stand the idea of a Bruce Banner and Natasha Romanoff wedding, but it just wasn't meant to be. Cap's retirement. One of the most heartwarming moments in the movie is when Steve Rogers goes back in time to put the stones back in their rightful place. Instead of coming back to the present timeline like he's supposed to, he goes back to meet Peggy when he should have. He was never really comfortable in this time, so it was a well-deserved ending for Cap. The two get hitched and live out a long and happy life together. The rest of the Avengers notice an old man sat on a bench near where they are and realize it's Captain America. He tells Falcon that he tried some of that living stuff he kept being told about, and it all turned out great. While we're all devastated that we won't get to see Chris Evans as Captain America anymore, he did hand over his shield to Falcon as Bucky watched. This could mean a whole lot more for the MCU moving forward. Cap has been a firm fan favorite over the years. Since Cap hands a shield to Falcon, it only makes sense that actor Anthony Mackie is going to be taking over the part. Mackie would be the first African American to play the role on screen, but there is a black Captain America in the comics. Isaiah Bradley first appeared in Truth, Red, White, and Black in 2013. Similarly to Cap, he was made a super soldier during World War II. It'll be interesting to see if writers incorporate any of Isaiah's storylines into Falcon's new Captain America arc, or if they'll just make him a separate character entirely. Either way, Cap's retirement spells out a big change for Phase 4. Without him at the helm, the Avengers could be very different and maybe very disorganized. Scarlet Witch's revenge. Wanda Maximoff is a complicated character that has much more to give. Played beautifully by Elizabeth Olsen, she's a powerful force to be reckoned with. At the end of Avengers 3, Thanos rips the Mind Stone out of Vision to complete the gauntlet. Prior to that, Wanda had used her powers to destroy the stone completely, slaying Vision in the process on his request. Thanos undid all that hard work with a click of his fingers though, using the Time Stone. Not only did Wanda have to live with the memory of offing her soulmate, but she also got decimated. When the Hulk brought everyone back 5 years later, it was like seconds had passed for Wanda. Scarlet Witch appeared on the front line with everyone that was lost in the snap at a crucial moment in Endgame. As the likes of Cap and Thor are getting their butts kicked by Thanos, Doctor Strange opens up the portals and everyone rushes in from Wakanda. This is where we see how truly angry Wanda is as she launches towards Thanos. She tells him that he's taken everything from her and throws everything that she has at him. It's a small but interesting moment that could have connotations for Phase 4. Thanos might be dust now, but you know what they say. Hell hath no fury like a woman scorned. Tony's passing and the future of Iron Man. As Tony Stark bit the dust after saving the world, the future of Iron Man seems quite bleak. Over the course of the last decade, the movies have been pretty sure to focus on one thing: Tony Stark is Iron Man. He says it more than once, of course, and those simple 4 words are the last ones he ever says. With the character so synonymous with Robert Downey Jr. and Tony Stark, could anyone else ever wear the suit? The closest we've seen is Pepper Potts in the rescue getup, but will she continue Stark's legacy? In the comics, Stark meets his fate several times, but always gets resurrected somehow. It seems unlikely that this will happen now, as Tony was given such an epic send-off. Everyone he ever knew and loved attended his funeral. Happy hugs his daughter and agrees to shower her with cheeseburgers, like a true friend. Robert Downey Jr. has been playing the part for so long now, he might want the freedom to explore other avenues. Fans would happily watch him for another 10 years, but that's just not going to be how it works. All good things must come to an end, no matter how much we wish they wouldn't. Gwyneth Paltrow told Variety at the start of the year that Endgame would be her last outing as Pepper Potts. If both Pepper and Tony are out for good, could the responsibility fall to their daughter, Morgan? Could someone else step in to play Pepper, or is it really goodbye to Stark Industries for good? Don't rule out an Iron Man return in some form. Marvel is a money-making enterprise after all, and there's so much merchandising revenue out there that a return in some form might be a certainty. The return of Gamora. This one is a little tricky. In Avengers 3, Thanos sacrificed his daughter so he could get his giant purple mitts on the Soul Stone. It was a devastating moment for any Guardians of the Galaxy fan, but crucial to the plot. Not only did it add some more power to the storyline, but it showed us Thanos' deeper side. Up until that point, he seemed like a basic brute, plain and simple. When he had to sacrifice Gamora though, it became clear that he did love her, regardless of how he chose to show it at the time. Even Gamora was shocked when his true feelings were revealed. Audiences watched on in horror as she was thrown over the edge of the cliff. Quill was broken, as was her sister Nebula. When the events of Endgame caused the characters to go back to a certain time, they came across Gamora. She was still serving Thanos then, getting ready to find all the stones so that he could fulfill his ultimate desire. When the current day Nebula crosses paths with her and tell her what her daddy dearest would do in the future, she joins ranks with the Avengers. After the fight was over, Gamora disappears. Quill tries to search for her, but he can't find her, and they jet off into space with Thor in her place. It's amazing that Gamora is back, especially because there's a Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 that's part of Phase 4. We've still lost the present day Gamora though, as she wasn't part of the snap. Her passing couldn't be undone. So the Gamora that's been dragged into the present hasn't done all the things that the other version of herself did. She's only recently turned good, so probably has a lot of stuff to work out. And not only that, but she isn't in love with Quill yet. She hasn't even met him properly. So that'll probably spell out some conflict in the upcoming movie. Although the romance isn't pivotal to the Guardians, it is a treasured part of it. So how will writers rectify it? Will Quill and Gamora rekindle their love for one another, or will it just be a different type of relationship moving forward? Thanos' big exit. Fans were thirsty for retribution after Thanos slayed half of all life in the universe, and boy did they get it. The Mad Titan got what was coming to him not once, but twice in the movie. In the beginning, the Avengers hatch a plan to track Thanos down, reclaim the gauntlet, and undo what's been done. Only, they were too late. He'd already destroyed the stones. Bummer. Thor took revenge by chopping his head off with Stormbreaker. It didn't make him feel any better though, and he ended up seeking solace at the bottom of a bottle. When they come across Thanos once again 5 years later, Tony ultimately defeats him with the stones. The demise of this incredible villain means a lot for the next phase in the MCU. His importance was first teased all the way back in 2011's Thor, and now it looks like he's gone for good. So now that the main antagonist is gone, that means there's room for a new big bad in town. With thousands of characters to choose from, it's difficult to pinpoint exactly who's going to pick up where Thanos left off. Their mission statement is likely to be completely different, as the whole stone thing has been played out to completion. With so many movies in the works, will they each have a different villain in the mix, or will they all hint at one bigger problem, like Phase 3 did? No matter what the outcome, Thanos will be missed. He might have been an utter pain in the behind, and he's responsible for loads of terrible stuff, but he did do his job well. Villains are there to do one thing: wreak havoc and make the fate of their beloved characters uncertain. Thanos did all of that, and then some, so he's got huge boots to fill, both physically and metaphorically. Even baddies get to be grieved sometimes, so RIP Thanos, you devious mastermind. What do you think? Do any of these losses mean bigger things? Or do you think we've overestimated their importance? Sound off in the comments section, and we love to hear from you. Before you jet off, do us a favor and give this video a big thumbs up. And be sure to hit subscribe before you go too, so you don't miss a thing on your favorite TV shows and movies. Until next time guys, thanks for watching.